Welcome back to our pub in the Yorkshire Dales. As you know, I'm on a mission to seek out Yorkshire's perfect pint for a beer festival I'm holding here in a few weeks' time. Right, driver, York. I bet the men in habits who walk these streets knew a thing or two about real ale. And so does Andrew Worley, head brewer at York's only brewery. Robert might curse the tourists holding us up, but Andrew loves them. York Brewery not only makes award-winning beers, but lets the blighters in. Robert, you know what to do. So this is the brew house then?
It's a traditional English-style brew house.
I love this. This is the first copper that's actually made of copper.
Yeah, I wish it was made of copper. It's copper sheeting on it to make it look nice for the tourists. When we set the brewery up, from day one, the intention was to be inside the city walls, to be a visitor showcase brewery.
Tourism must be a major part of your business.
In the early days, it was major. I mean, it was sort of maybe 50-50. It certainly helped us out with the cash flow in the early days.
The next tour's in half an hour. Oh, I need my brolly for the next bit of research. We're splashing around the city walls to sample Andrew's beers in the 3 pubs the brewery owns.
I think we'll try a pint of pure gold, actually. It's a beer that we brewed for somebody's 50th birthday and also for the Leeds Camera Beer Festival, and it's proved that popular that we've had to keep brewing it.
Kept it going. So what should I be looking for when I'm tasting it?
It's a pale beer. It should be nice grapefruit sort of flavours, really nice fruity aroma, almost sort of tropical fruitish.
Cheers.
Cheers. Say.
Very good.
It was a estate agent's that we converted into a pub.
Was it? What a good idea. Right, off to pub number 2. I do like this job.
The last pub that we were in was called the Last Drop In, which is your last drop when you're on the gallows. This pub's called the Three-Legged Mare, which was an affectionate term by the convict, and there's 3 crossbars that they can hang somebody off. So 3 people at one go. Very effective. Adrian, can we have a pint of Stonewall, please? Certainly. This is one of the first beers we did sort of 12.5 years ago. So it's quite malty. It's sort of more of a traditional Yorkshire beer.
What about all the names of these things? I think I can guess this one.
So Stonewall was because of the walls around York.
Yeah. I'm sure there's a story behind this one.
Because everybody stopped drinking after Christmas. So January and February are generally quiet times in the pub. So I said, I want to do a very light beer. So as we try to sat around, thrash out names, I just want a beer you can guzzle and have no problems with. And so we decided guzzle the name it is.
It's a brilliant name. It's one of those where you can say 1 pint isn't enough, 2 pints is just right, and 3 pints isn't enough.
Correct.
You just go on.
Cheers again.
Cheers.
Yeah, we'll try 2 more different beers in the next pub, shall we?
Yeah. Yeah. Pub number 3. I love this job. So what are we going to have this time?
I think we'll try a pint of Yorkshire Terrier and a pint of Centurion's Ghost, as those are our sort of 2 flagship beers.
I've got to admit at this point, my scientific analysis of Andrew's beers is becoming a bit of a haze. We're just about to go into the brewery tour, and I must admit we have had a lot of sampling, and I'm beginning to feel a bit wobbly-woot, I must admit. Now come on, Ainsworth, concentrate.
Bubbling yeast has got a name, it's Balm. Probably where you get barmy from, bubble-headed.
Blooming heck. This Willis family seem to enjoy the beer. I've got a great idea. How about a mini beer festival? You've all got a different drink. Can I sit here in a minute? Right here, right now. This is the Great Willis Beer Festival, right?
That's nice.
The Yorkshire Terriers off the lead again.
Oh yeah, I like that.
And that's the Centurion Ghost. But for a dark winter's night, that would be really nice. Just before a meal. I suppose we'd better try the other 3. Right, this is the moment we've all been waiting for, the results of the Great Willis Beer Festival. We've got the Terrier. Who votes the Terrier as being the best one? We tot up the scores. Andrew's confident that his favourite, Guzzler, will win. Who votes the Guzzler as the best beer? No? Well, I'm going to give it one anyway. Well, we can pronounce that the Yorkshire Terrier is the winner of the Great Willis Beer Festival 2008. And that's another brewery booked. Right, Selby next. Come on, Robert, I might need 40 winks. I've come to Brown Cow Brewery. Oh, welcome to Selby. In search of a brewster. That's a female brewer to you and me. Oh, it must be Sue and Keith.
Morning.
Oh, I've been looking forward to meeting you.
What a wonderful matter. know.
Well, here you've got a great little brewery, and can I have a look at it?
You can do more than look at it. You could actually get your sleeves rolled up and help me mash in if you like, because we're brewing today.
Right.
Keith's busy.
Oh, perfect.
So it's a much easier job with 2 people.
Yeah. I'm pleased to help.
Yeah.
I'll leave you guys to get up.
Yeah.
All right.
Thanks, Keith.
Okay. So you won't need your jacket on
no,
in
I
here
won't.
because it's really very warm.
Sue Simpson's created loads of award-winning ales from her garden shed. Well, Sue, it's absolutely minute.
It is, isn't it?
I mean, what's the history of it?
It's called the Brown Cow Brewery because the house was originally the Brown Cow Inn. It was built as a pub in 1790.
Sue and Keith had no idea of the history when they moved in. It was just a coincidence 11 years ago when Sue decided to do something entirely different.
I'd worked in an office for 18 years, a 9 till 5 job, an hour for lunch, really strict, you know. But this is a bit of an extreme way to cure boredom, I have to say.
Sue is brewing her award-winning Captain Oates Mild. Right, well, let's get it going.
Let's give it a go.
This contraption I'm filling up saves Sue having to hump heavy sacks into the mash tun. A worm drive sucks the malt up the pipe where it mixes with hot water. What I'm trying to do is get all these different malts in and mix them all together so that they blend correctly.
Just keep doing what you're doing.
I thought this was going to be easy. Sue works like the devil possessed. I think I've slowed her down. Oh, and Keith doesn't look too impressed with my efforts either.
It looks like a bomb, doesn't it?
No, I'm sorry, I've made a mess. Shall I sweep this? Yes, I'll sweep it up. Sue's brewing to the limit in this tiny space. 5 years ago, she was given planning permission to make the brewery bigger.
Right at the last minute, thought, I don't want to do this. This is not why I started. I did it to do something different, to have a better quality of life. So we said, no, that's it.
And you're making a profit as you are now? Presumably.
Yeah, you'll never make huge money at this size, but it's interesting and it's enjoyable.
I love the way Sue operates. About a third of what she creates are one-off recipes, never to be brewed again. But the pubs want it without even tasting it.
I just like experimenting with all the different hops, all the different ingredients. It'd be like cooking egg and chips every day, really, if you did the same recipe every day.
Well, I think what impresses me most about it is not just their obvious enthusiasm, but the scale of it, and yet they don't want to expand. She's got people coming and knocking on the door saying, we want your beer. She doesn't have to go out and sell it. I've never seen any other brewery that is in that sort of situation. I really would like this beer to be in the festival, particularly as I've had a hand in actually brewing it. Whether I've ruined it or not, I don't know, but I'll be gunning for it, there's no doubt about it.
How many beers are you going to have on?
20. 20 of the beers that I've selected by going around all these breweries, and we'd be really pleased if yours was in it.
It's a tough job, isn't it?
It's a terrible job. I'm leaving Sue for a minute to catch up with him indoors. So this was the little pub?
It was. This was a snug, believe it or not.
Oh, it's perfect, isn't it?
Yeah, it's lovely. Yeah, there used to be a little serving hatch there.
Well, I love the way you label your own beers.
A bit time consuming, but this is the bottle version of the beer you've just been brewing over there. This is bottle conditioned.
Bottle conditioned, what do you mean by that?
It goes through secondary fermentation in the bottle, so it's still got the yeast and the sediment in there, and I think it produces a better beer. If you think about it, filtered beer takes out the body of the beer, whereas we leave the body in there, so the flavours will be enhanced.
So are there any disadvantages to it?
Well, a little bit. That you've got to know how to pour it, because there's sediment in there, then you've got to pour it a little more gently than you would do normally, so that you don't disturb the sediment too much. As it comes to the end there, stop and leave the last bit in the bottle.
Aha! I think this calls for a taste test to compare bottle with barrel.
A very squeaky pump.
And you can never do this scientifically with just a small sip. Oh, yes, that is a lovely pint. Right, we'll try the bottle. It's incredibly similar.
The flavours are there. You can actually taste the depth of it.
Yeah.
You get good upfront flavours and you get a really good aftertaste.
Yeah. I am very, very impressed with that. I mean, you've got a hell of a wife there, haven't you?
I have indeed, yeah.
Wow.
Well, she's good at the brewing bit, I'm good at the drinking bit, so,
yeah.
You know, we're a match pair, really.
Absolutely. Well, here she is now in this lovely little brewery, and she's winning awards all over the country.
Well, I mean, I'm very proud of her. I think she's done a tremendous job. And don't forget, it's a difficult world because it's mainly male-dominated.
Yeah.
But Sue hasn't shirked anything. She used to do the deliveries, everything.
No, you've convinced me on bottle conditioning. Yeah. Poor Robertson's still out, isn't he? Even though it's his birthday.
He's enjoying his cup of tea.
Yeah. Thank you very much. Let's try a bit more. Back in the shed, brew house, Sue's added a woman's touch to digging out the mash tun.
It tips so far, like that, so that we can now dig some of the ingredients out. You need a shovel.
Right.
And I need to hold this bag. I get the easy bit.
Sue wants to catch a lift in the Brigadier to show me how she recycles her waste malt.
Any more and they get a bit giddy.
Do they? There isn't actually any alcohol in the malt. Good job, because Sue's way to relax after a busy brew is to spend time with Poppy and Jasper.
Donkeys will be off now. This is what it's all about, really. Being able to come up and enjoy feeding the donkeys, leaning on the gate and appreciating where you live.
Being happy is everything, and
it is.
And drinking your beer has made me very happy.
I'm glad to hear it.
First class. Thank you.
You're very welcome.
That's Brown Cow booked for the beer festival. Join me next time when I cause chaos in the Yorkshire Wolds.
Hang on, no, we want that for sampling.
And get wobbly whooped in Skipton.
It's so funny. Oh my God.
All in the name of finding Yorkshire's perfect pint.